Imagine, you and 6 friends at a luxury villa in Cabo. What could go so horribly wrong in paradise? Shanquella Robinson was living her best life at 25. This vibrant entrepreneur from Charlotte, North Carolina, had built something special with her hands and her heart. She braided hair with such skill that families trusted her with their children's confidence and joy. Her gentle touch brought smiles to young faces across her community. Friends knew her infectious laugh, and family cherished her driven spirit. October 2022 brought an invitation that seemed perfect, as 6 friends were heading to Cabo San Lucas to celebrate a birthday. Shanquella packed her bags with excitement, ready for memories that would last a lifetime. The group settled into their luxury Airbnb on October 28, 2022, a villa that promised everything a perfect vacation needed. Laughter echoed through spacious rooms as 7 friends began what should have been an unforgettable celebration. But something went wrong on day 1. Just hours after arriving, Shanquella Robinson was found unconscious in the living room. Frantic calls went out to local authorities. Emergency responders arrived to find a young woman who would never return home to Charlotte, as the celebration had become a tragedy. By the way, I'm curious, where are you tuning in from? Drop a quick comment, I read them all, and sometimes your ideas spark our next case. The story her travel companions told seemed consistent. Shanquella had been drinking heavily the night before. She had gotten sick from alcohol poisoning. They painted a picture of a friend who had simply overindulged on vacation. But did alcohol alone explain her death? Salamandra Robinson received the devastating phone call every parent fears. Her daughter was gone. The woman who had spoken to Shanquella just hours earlier, hearing about the good time everyone was having, now faced an unthinkable loss. I told her I'd talk to her tomorrow, she would later recall. And I never spoke to my daughter again. The friends returned to the United States carrying Shanquella's luggage. Alone. They maintained their story about alcohol poisoning. Mexican authorities initially seemed to accept this explanation, and the death certificate would later list the preliminary cause as alcohol-related complications. But documents tell different stories than spoken words. When Shanquella's official death certificate arrived from Mexico, it contained information that contradicted the initial reports. The cause of death was listed as serious injuries to her neck area, trauma to the neck vertebrae. The document noted she was found unconscious and classified her death as accidental or violent. Most chilling of all, it stated the time between injury and death was within 15 minutes. How does someone suffering from alcohol poisoning sustain such serious neck injuries? Mexican authorities began asking the same question. The investigation took a dramatic turn when they reclassified Shanquella's death as femicide, a gender-based hate crime. In November 2022, they issued an arrest warrant for one of her travel companions. The friend's narrative of a tragic accident came under intense scrutiny. Then the video surfaced. But this was just the beginning. Weeks later, troubling video footage began circulating online. The concerning recording showed what appeared to be the interior of their villa. In the frame, viewers witnessed footage that raised serious questions about what happened that night. Bernard Robinson, Shanquella's father, confirmed the devastating truth about what the video appeared to show involving his daughter. The footage raised questions that demanded answers. Who filmed this incident? Why did no one appear to be intervening? How many people witnessed what happened? According to FBI reports released in February 2025, the group provided a different account to investigators. They claimed Shanquella was drinking and hit her head on the toilet. Someone reportedly tried to obtain security camera footage from the house and contacted Mexican law enforcement. But when images of Shanquella's body surfaced, witnesses described concerning injuries. One person reportedly said it looked as if she had been stomped on. What really happened in that villa? These details painted a picture far removed from simple alcohol poisoning. The investigation revealed concerning patterns of behavior. A doctor who spent hours at the villa after they called for help repeatedly urged them to call an ambulance. They allegedly refused these urgent recommendations until it was too late. When they finally allowed emergency transport, precious time had already been lost. Medical experts who later reviewed the case noted the suspicious timeline. The friends claimed Shanquella had been drinking heavily, but Mexican authorities documented 15 minutes between injury and death. This rapid deterioration suggested acute trauma rather than gradual alcohol poisoning. How could 6 people maintain the same story under pressure? According to the lawsuit filed by Shanquella's mother, the lawsuit alleges that the group weren't completely forthcoming with medical staff and law enforcement in Mexico. They left the country a day earlier than originally planned. They departed without fully cooperating with Mexican investigators. They brought Shanquella's belongings back to the United States while leaving behind unanswered questions. The case took another unexpected turn when Shanquella's body underwent a second autopsy in Charlotte, North Carolina. November 17, 2022, the examination revealed findings that contradicted the Mexican death certificate's claim of neck injuries. Her spine was intact. Instead, the medical examiner found significant injuries that affected brain function and blood flow. The cause of death was officially listed as undetermined. 2 autopsies. 2 different stories. The truth seemed more elusive than ever. April 2023, after extensive investigation, U.S. federal prosecutors delivered crushing news to Shanquella's family. Despite the video evidence, witness statements, and medical findings, they concluded that available evidence did not support federal charges. The decision left the Robinson family feeling abandoned by the justice system they had trusted to seek accountability. This case highlights the challenges families face when seeking justice, family attorney Sue Ann Robinson stated at a press conference. But the story doesn't end there. Salamandra Robinson refused to let her daughter's death fade into legal obscurity. October 2024, exactly 2 years after losing Shanquella, she filed a comprehensive civil lawsuit. The defendants included all 6 travel companions, now known as the Cabo Six, along with the FBI and U.S. Department of State. She sought damages exceeding $25,000 from each defendant. The lawsuit provides the most detailed account yet of what allegedly happened in that Cabo villa. According to court documents, the civil complaint alleges that one of the travel companions, who has since legally changed her name from Dejani Jackson to Amani Green, is accused of being involved in a physical altercation with Shanquella Robinson. The suit alleges that Shanquella appeared to be in a vulnerable state during the incident. Perhaps most disturbing, the lawsuit alleges that the group shared footage online and made a video call so someone could watch what was happening remotely. After the incident, according to the civil filing, no one tried to console or help Shanquella with her injuries. Why would someone legally change their name after such an incident? The civil case has faced its own challenges. Defense attorneys argue the lawsuit should be handled in Mexico, where the incident occurred, rather than in U.S. courts where all defendants currently reside. The Robinson family's attorney counters that American citizens should not be able to go overseas, harm another U.S. citizen, and come back to the United States and essentially say that they're off base. As of 2025, the legal battle continues. No criminal charges have been filed in the United States. The Mexican arrest warrant remains unexecuted. 6 people who went on vacation with Shanquella Robinson have never publicly explained what happened in that villa. What transforms a birthday celebration into a tragedy that spans multiple countries and legal systems? The evidence suggests a pattern of behavior that began in those crucial hours after Shanquella's collapse. Instead of immediate transparency with medical personnel and law enforcement, her companions provided an account that differed significantly from evidence that emerged later. They maintained this story through multiple interviews with authorities, family members, and media outlets. But videos document events. Medical evidence speaks its own language. And the inconsistencies in their account created questions that demand answers. Today, Bernard Robinson continues his quest for answers. These 6 individuals are out here walking around and they've still got their mouths shut knowing what they witnessed over there in that villa, he said recently. His pain echoes through every public appearance, every court filing, every interview where he simply repeats the same request, "I just want justice." The case has exposed troubling questions about how American authorities handle incidents involving U.S. citizens abroad. Why did the FBI wait months to conduct interviews? How did critical evidence potentially deteriorate during delays? Can the justice system adequately address cases that span international borders? For Shanquella Robinson, these systemic questions matter less than the personal loss that defines every day since that tragic night. She has experienced anxiety, depression, and mental distress that no parent should endure. Her lawsuit describes a mother who lost not just her daughter, but her faith in institutions designed to protect American citizens. The 6 individuals continue their lives while Shanquella's family pursues civil litigation seeking accountability. Imani Green, formerly Dejani Jackson, changed her legal name after the incident, a detail that raises questions about the circumstances. The other 5 defendants have largely remained silent, protected by legal counsel and prosecutorial decisions that shield them from criminal consequences. What happens when the pursuit of justice becomes a marathon rather than a sprint? The Robinson family's experience suggests that true accountability sometimes requires years of persistence against institutional resistance. They have organized marches, held press conferences, and filed multiple lawsuits. They have endured media scrutiny, legal setbacks, and the exhausting process of keeping their daughter's case in public consciousness. Their efforts have highlighted concerns about safety for individuals traveling abroad. The case has raised awareness about the importance of thorough investigations in international incidents. As legal proceedings continue, Shanquella Robinson's memory lives on through her family's determination and the community she served through her entrepreneurial work. She brought confidence and joy to children who sat in her chair. Her death has become a symbol of the fight for justice that transcends borders and legal systems. The luxury villa in Cabo has likely hosted other celebrations since that fateful night. New groups of friends have probably laughed in those same rooms, swum in that infinity pool, and watched Mexican sunsets from those windows. But for one family in Charlotte, North Carolina, that villa will forever represent the place where their daughter took her last breath. The question that haunts this case isn't just what happened to Shanquella Robinson. It's why the truth has remained so elusive for so long, and whether justice delayed truly becomes justice denied. Her story continues to unfold in courtrooms and legal documents, but the young woman who braided hair and built dreams will never get to see how it ends. Some mysteries reveal their secrets quickly. Others require years of persistence to uncover what should have been obvious from the beginning. The tragedy of Shanquella Robinson falls into the latter category, a case where the search for truth has become as complex as the circumstances themselves. In the end, perhaps that's what her family fights for most, the simple acknowledgement that Shanquella Robinson deserved better than the silence that followed her death, and that her life mattered enough to demand honest answers about how it ended.
If you enjoy deep dives into true crime, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Until next time, friends!